What's up and welcome back to Rumor Has It Official. Let's get straight into talking about Married at First Sight. This is season 8, episode 6, and the title of this episode is Let's Talk About Sex, Baby. So first, let's start off with Kristen and Keith. So Kristen and Keith, they end up consummating their marriage, and Kristen says that she's already starting to develop feelings for her husband. Move on to Kate and Luke. It's the first morning in their new place, and Luke comments on the fact that Kate has so much space but chooses to sleep right in the center up under him. And I just cringe every time I watch this couple because he doesn't really seem like he wants to connect with his wife. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with cuddling, and he just doesn't seem like he wants to do anything. So let's move on to Will and Jasmine. Jasmine says Will does things very differently, and it's weird sitting back watching him cook for her. Jasmine says she thinks of Will as a friend with potential and that it will grow into a physical friendship. Let's move on to AJ and Stephanie. AJ says during the move, he was short with Stephanie and feels terrible about it, which he was. If you guys remember in episode 5, when they were moving, he was very snappy, very short-tempered, and it just was no reason. That wasn't even called for. It wasn't that deep. While talking about what happened while they were moving, AJ tries to give Stephanie tips on how to handle him, and she says in return he may need to give her time to get past. So when he decides he wants to go off and fly off the handle, he might be ready to move on and be good and act like nothing happened, but he's gonna have to give her some time. In the next scene, you see the ladies meet up since being back home from the honeymoon. Jasmine, she opens up that she's waiting on Will to make the first move. Kristen tells the ladies in little words that her and Keith have been intimate. While talking, the ladies notice Kate is not really chiming in, so they inquire on how she is, how her and Luke are. Kate says that they get along fine, but the romance part isn't there yet. She adds during her one-on-one time with the camera crew that it's hard living with someone who isn't attracted to her. My heart breaks for her because now that's going to be in the back of her head. And the way in which he said what he said to her, the damage is already done. She's always going to second guess his intentions, his actions. It's hard for her to the trust has been broken. On the other hand, the fellas hang out as well and talk about their visits with Pastor Cal. Luke says very vaguely that he said something stupid and Pastor Cal helped them sort through things. Luke also adds that it's very annoying to hear AJ keep saying that he had sex already with his wife, but he also feels good to know that he's not the only one who hasn't crossed that line yet. So Dr. Pepper visits Kristen and Keith and wants to know if they have started their sex life. Dr. Pepper wants to know if they're staying safe, if they have a plan, which they really don't. The smart thing to do would be to go through the process and wait on having kids. They need to continue getting to know each other and see if they can make it to the end of this experiment, and even for the long haul before adding children into the mix. In their case, since they really don't know each other, I wouldn't be so careless to be intimate without using protection. Keith says that they haven't been protecting themselves, so when Dr. Pepper was wanting to know all these questions from them, have they been protecting themselves? Are they making a plan? Keith looks at Christine to try to see what answer he should say, and he finally just says out his mouth, no, they haven't been protecting themselves. When I looked at Christine, it looked like she was saying, yes, they have. So who's lying? I think he's telling the truth, and I think she was going to lie about it. Now over at Luke and Kate's house, they cook and talk about the get-together they'll be having with their friends. And I really don't think this couple is a good fit. And I just feel the damage has already been done, like I said previously. He actually said out his mouth some hurtful things. And I'm still trying to understand why the experts gave him a choice on whether he wanted to stay or not. But anyways, I think that Kate is very nervous about meeting Luke's friends again. Let's go back to Kristen and Keith. So Kristen and Keith prepare for friends to come over, and they waste no time. Her friends, I'm believing these are her friends, they waste no time wanting to know about their sex life. Key says that, he's getting very annoyed by everyone being in their business. Now, the experts being in their business is totally different than friends and family being in their business. And I feel like that was very uncalled for. So let's move on to Jasmine and Will. So let me just say, I like the pace that Jasmine and Will are on. All everyone wants to know is if these couples have been intimate. And I think that it's rude and none of their business. Sex can cloud your judgment sometimes, even blind you from seeing certain red flags because you're all in quote unquote love from the physical. And it's nothing wrong with taking your time to get to know someone and building a solid foundation before intimacy. Move at your own pace, not the pace that others feel that you should be moving in. Let's move on to AJ and Stephanie. So AJ takes his friends and Stephanie's friends to his favorite restaurant. And AJ says that he can see himself falling in love with Stephanie. Their dinner seems to go smoothly. Let's go back to Kate and Luke. So Kate is nervous to meet Luke's friends, and Kate invited about 3 friends. Luke invited about 25 people. It's very intimidating for Kate, and Luke says that he doesn't like when people are weird in public and just stand in a corner. That really frustrated me. I mean, he's already not on my good side. He's already on my bad side. So I think anything this man says out his mouth, I'm already really taking up for Kate because, like I said, the damage has been done, y'all. The damage has been done. So I think that they should have discussed how many people they were each inviting. And this dude basically threw a house party. This wasn't just like a little get together with a couple of friends. This dude threw a house party. I feel like that would be overwhelming for anyone in her shoes. So after some time, more of his friends start to talk to Kate, and she begins to feel more comfortable in her own home. During their camera update, Luke kisses Kate. So Kate, she gives him a kiss on the cheek, and then he returns in kissing her on the lips. And it looked mad forced. Like he was trying to prove a point, and that's just not gonna fly with me. Next, let's go with Jasmine and Will. So Jasmine is still waiting on Will to make the first move, and she says that she isn't sure what to do or how to set the scene for it to happen. Hopefully they don't stay in the friend zone and take the necessary steps to show each other love and affection, whether it's just by cuddling or kissing until they're both ready to take the next step. The show ends with AJ and Stephanie. AJ and Stephanie, they seem to have no issues in that department. They're loving on each other, hugged up. They're already being intimate. So that is basically it for this recap of Married at First Sight. This is season 8, episode 6. And I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, give this video a big thumbs up for me. Comment down below what you thought about this episode. Share this video with a friend who also loves watching Married at First Sight. Subscribe and hit that bell so you'll be notified on the next time I make an upload. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.